Now let's take a further step into wide world of beautiful sounding chord progressions. If we build a 7th chord, for example C major 7, I hope that you can do it fluently right now. As you can see, 3 notes are left in scale, but we haven't used them. And those are called added tone chords. So let's, for example, mute the 7th, but add the 2nd. Let's hear what happens if we unmute the 7th. It's way more complex. Let's now try it with the 4th. Sounds interesting. Now let's try the 6th. And now with the 7th. If we added the 4th, it will be called C major 7 add 4th. And so with the 2nd. But now we can actually go, mark the 2nd, and higher it octave up. Hear it now. And same thing with the 4th, as we had it here. Let's take it octave up. Doesn't sound that good by itself, but it will for sure sound good in some advanced jazzy chord progression. Now let's try the 6th. As you can hear, the 2nd worked the best for now. So if we have a 2nd here, but octave up, we call it a 9th, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9th. In notation, you would say C major add 9th, but if you use C major add 2nd, it's also proper and right. Same with further. If we have here a 9th, so here we have a 10th and 11th. So we would say C major add 11th. But if you say C major add 4th, it's also no mistake. So now, for example, let's build a chord from 2nd note of the scale. So it will be a D minor, because we have a D, 1, 2, 3, and F. And it's a minor 3rd, so it's a minor chord. Let's build it further. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it doesn't sound sad, right? As I said, that you can say that minor chords are sad, but it's not the case always. Alright, so now let's add a 9th to it. It will be 7th, 8th, 9th. Now let's, for example, build a chord on the 6th note, which will be A minor, and now a minor 7. And let's add to it a 9th. As you can see, overall building of the chord is every 3rd. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we can go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But this is getting too overwhelming. So 5 notes in a chord is like a safe amount. If you're crazy, you can experiment with more notes, but let's stay for now with just 5 notes. So we have this kind of housey progression right here. And let's see what happens if I add a 4th instead of 9th. And let's, for example, take the first 3 notes higher an octave to make new feeling of the chord. So as for a cool example of added tone chords, I have prepared a simple chord progression, which is 4, 5, 6, 1, and all of the chords are in root position, so without inversions. And now look what happened if I add to every of these chords a second. So here's our root, and I add a second here, second here, second here, and second here. Hear it now. Now, for example, you can experiment in which chord you would like to have the second and in which you don't. So for example, now when we have this super easy chord progression, you can experiment with the order of the chords. For example, take a listen. So if this is 4, 5, 6, 1, we did it 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, 1, 4. So in practice, it looked like this. So now experiment with, for example, adding a 7th chord. But to do it, you need to specify your root note of the chord. So in our case, as we said earlier, this is without inversions, so the position is the root. So we can do the 7th by simply counting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, or just count from the first chord 1 down. So let's take the root note and copy it and 1 step down. Cool, right? Now let's, for example, add a second to the 2nd chord. And you can hear that this chord, comparing to this, is kind of empty. So we need to add some spiciness to it, as we do with adding tone concept. So let's add a 9th here, or 2nd, and for example 7th. Sounds super cool, right? Without and with. Let's hear the whole sequence. Now you can hear that this doesn't really fit. So what we can do is actually take this note, which doesn't fit, and take it an octave up. And same thing with the notes here. For example, let's add a 9th here, or 2nd. Also here. And maybe also here, why not? I'm sure that you get the concept.